Hello friends, today I brought you the story of a mind-blowing action movie. A story where the villain was immortal. Yes, no matter what, he simply couldn't be killed. Although it's an action film, the storyline is absolutely exceptional. It's set in one of the most densely populated places on Earth. A building in 19th century Hong Kong, a place so packed, it was like an entire city in itself. This place was real. It was known as Kowloon Walled City. And in this story, we dive into its dark underworld, filled with crime, gang wars, and chaos. So, let's dive in. At the start of the story, we learn that in the early 1950s, thousands of refugees fled from war-torn countries like China and Vietnam and took shelter in Kowloon Walled City. The entire area eventually turned into a hub of crime, a safe haven for gangsters, drug lords, and thieves. Kowloon wasn't just a building. It was an entire ecosystem, with people living their lives inside its walls. To control this chaos, gang wars frequently broke out. Among them, the most powerful gang was led by Louis Chang. With the help of a feared mafia boss known as Jim the King of Killers, Chang crushed every rival gang and took complete control of the walled city. But one day, a man named Cyclone arrived. He declared he would rule the city. He rallied everyone who stood against Chang and built his own gang. Eventually, a brutal, bloody war erupted between Chang's forces and Cyclone's army, and Cyclone did the unthinkable. He killed the legendary Jim and took over the walled city. Under Cyclone's strong leadership, the violence slowly died down, and that's where the real story begins. We jump to Hong Kong in the 1980s. In an underground club, we see women, drugs, illegal betting, and brutal underground fighting. This entire club was ruled by a gangster named Mr. Big. On one particular night, a refugee named Chan, who had just escaped from China, showed up at the club to fight the champion boxer. The match began. Everyone started betting on the champion, not Chan. But shockingly, Chan defeated the unbeatable fighter. Mr. Big had bet heavily on his own guy and lost a lot of money. Since he owned the club, he had to pay Chan his prize money. But because Chan was new and had caused him a financial loss, Mr. Big refused to pay. Chan told him he wanted to use the money to buy an ID card and become a legal citizen. Mr. Big smirked and said, "Everyone around here gets their ID cards from me. Fine, come back in a week. I'll get you your card with the money you won." Poor Chan walked away empty-handed. He spent the next 7 days hiding from the police, barely surviving. Then one day, someone from Mr. Big's crew came to tell him his ID was ready. They took him to Mr. Big's factory, a place where drugs were produced and packaged, and millions of dollars changed hands. There, Mr. Big handed Chan a fake ID. Chan refused and said, "This won't work. I want my money back." But Mr. Big's bodyguard, King, stepped in and said, "You paid us to make a fake card. That's what you got. Now get lost." They shoved Chan out of the factory. He pleaded, begged for his money, but no one listened. Everyone was about to attack him, so Chan grabbed a bag and ran for his life. Mr. Big immediately ordered all his men to go after him and bring him back. Chan ran with everything he had, jumped onto an empty bus, and tried to escape, but King and his crew caught up with him again. Desperate to survive, Chan kept running, and unknowingly entered the infamous Kowloon Walled City. At that point, King came to a stop, because this place was ruled by Cyclone. Moments later, Sin, Cyclone's most trusted man, showed up. Seeing him, King and his men backed off and left without a word. Sin realized someone had snuck into the walled city, so he gathered his crew and began searching. Meanwhile, Chan was stunned by the sheer density of the place. Trying to catch his breath, he opened the bag, only to find there was no money. He had taken the wrong bag. It was full of narcotics. Devastated, Chan cursed his luck. Just then, he saw a man getting high in a corner. He asked, "Where did you get that stuff?" The man gave him the location of a local dealer. Following the directions, Chan found the dealer and tried to sell the drugs. The dealer was shocked to see so much product. He asked, "Where did you steal this from?" Chan stayed silent. Suspicious, the dealer and his men tried to snatch the bag. Chan fought back viciously, taking on the whole gang alone. He nearly escaped after beating them all. But just then, Sin arrived, drawn by the noise and chaos. Chan, not recognizing him, attacked him on sight. But Sin was a deadly fighter. He beat Chan mercilessly and left him injured. Chan tried to escape once again, with Sin and his men hot on his trail. Chan stumbled into a barbershop, grabbed an old barber, and held a blade to his throat. "Back off!" he yelled. "I'll kill him if you come any closer." But Chan didn't know. The man he was threatening was none other than the king of this city, Cyclone himself. Cyclone, without breaking a sweat, took Chan down in a flash, broke one of his arms, and flung him across the room. Then he said, "This is the first time I'm seeing you, so I'm letting you go with a warning. Next time I catch you doing something illegal, I'll kill you." He handed Chan the bag of drugs and told him to get lost. Chan, now wounded and in pain, limped away. But even in that condition, he had to hide again because the police were patrolling the area. He crawled up onto the tin roof of a house to hide from the law. A girl from a neighboring room saw his condition and handed him some bread and water. And that wasn't all. A man from the next building said, "You look terrible. Go down 2 floors. You'll find Cyclone there. Maybe he'll help you." Chan followed the instructions and went down 2 levels. Sin spotted him again. "You're still here?" he growled. Chan pleaded, "Please, just give me some money for this stuff." Cyclone was also there. He asked, "Where did you get this? Which gang do you belong to?" Chan said, "I'm not with any gang. Mr. Big scammed me. I stole this from his factory. I'm just a refugee. I have no one in this world." Hearing this, Cyclone felt a wave of sympathy. He said, "All right, hand over the bag to me." But because of his broken arm, Chan was in too much pain to even reach Cyclone. Cyclone gently took the bag from his hand and told Sin, "Take him to Avi." We then see Cyclone walking straight into Mr. Big's private room, with the bag of drugs he took from Chan. Mr. Big assumed Cyclone was there to kill him, since the two were longtime rivals, but Cyclone simply said, "I'm returning your stuff. From now on, leave that kid alone." Mr. Big snarled, "I'm going to get him, no matter what." Cyclone replied, "Then go ahead, try." Meanwhile, Chan was taken to a masked doctor named Avi. Avi examined him, treated his arm, and wrapped it in a bandage. Shortly after, Sin arrived and handed Chan a paper. He said, "Boss just ended all your problems with Mr. Big. Sign this and be thankful." Even after hearing all that, Chan only replied, "Brother, I just need some money." Avi said, "If you can work here in the Walled City, you'll never run short of cash." The next day, Chan started working at a hotel for free. Though it was tough in the beginning, he slowly learned how to do deliveries and errands. Eventually, he began getting paid. Chan worked tirelessly day and night and would find a corner of the city to sleep in. One night, he had a nightmare, reliving the horrific boat journey he took to escape from China to Hong Kong. After waking up, he went right back to work. That day, he noticed deep scars etched into the walls of the city. Cyclone noticed his relentless effort and felt compassion for him. That night, while Chan sat counting his small savings and eating nothing but dry bread, Cyclone called down from above, "How do you eat that dry bread every day?" Chan replied, "I don't have money for better food." Cyclone said, "Come with me. Let me treat you to some of the Walled City's famous BBQ meat and rice." He took Chan to a local restaurant. After so many years, Chan finally tasted real food and ate to his heart's content. Cyclone asked, "So, what are you saving all that money for?" Chan replied, "I want to get an ID card. It costs a lot. Do you know anyone who can help?" Cyclone laughed and said, "Nope. I actually work as the security head of this city. I stay away from anything illegal. And hey," he added, "stop struggling on the streets. I'm giving you a room. Stay as long as you want, rent-free. But once you get that ID card, make sure you leave this place." That night, thanks to Cyclone's kindness, Chan finally had a place to stay. Sin also began warming up to him. That night, Chan slept peacefully for the first time in ages. As usual, the next morning, he went out for his delivery runs. That's when he saw a little girl he knew. Her name was Ishu. Her father was beating her mother, a man who was addicted to drugs and often abused his wife for money to buy more. But that day, his rage went too far. The next morning, everyone in the city woke up to find the woman had died, electrocuted by tangled electrical wires. Chan rushed to bring down her body. Cyclone and his crew arrived at the scene, while little Ishu stood there crying her heart out, seeing her mother lying lifeless on the ground. Chan looked at them and said, "I know who killed Ishu's mother. Please, do something." Cyclone replied, "In this walled city, even good people slowly turn rotten. What can we really do?" Though Cyclone didn't act, the next day Chan took matters into his own hands. He wrapped his face and went after the man himself. But just before he could strike, he saw 3 masked boys arrive ahead of him. And before anyone could react, they launched a surprise attack on Ishu's mother's killer. Chan and the three boys beat the man mercilessly. They kept hitting him until he collapsed. Then, without looking back, they all fled the scene. We then see that, along with Sin, Avi, and Chan, a new guy had joined them. His name was Master. Master was also one of Cyclone's men. That night was the first time he met Chan, so to welcome him, he threw a little party. That night, the four of them sat together and played a board game till nearly morning. From that moment on, Chan formed a deep bond with the rest of them. The next day, while flying a kite with Cyclone, Cyclone said, "Didn't I tell you to stay away from trouble and fighting? Why didn't you listen to me?" Chan realized Cyclone had found out about the beating from the night before. He immediately apologized. "Boss, I swear it won't happen again. Please forgive me." Later, we see a news report on TV. The UK had agreed to hand Hong Kong back over to China. But the biggest issue? Kowloon Walled City, this massive settlement in no man's land. They wanted to demolish it, but couldn't figure out what to do with the thousands of people living there. Cyclone watched the news in silence as Avi checked up on him. Avi said, "Boss, you need to see a real doctor. Your heart isn't doing well. And that tumor in your lungs, it's getting worse. Quit smoking, starting today. Take Sin with you to the hospital." But Cyclone calmly replied, "Don't tell anyone about the tumor." Then he left to visit a man named Mr. Chow, one of the richest men in Hong Kong. Most of the land where the walled city was built belonged to Mr. Chow. Cyclone had come to talk about renting out buildings on that land. In the middle of their conversation, Mr. Chow said, "You killed Jim and cleared out my land. Fine, but Jim murdered my wife and child. And to this day, you still haven't found his son. Find Jim's son as soon as possible," he ordered. After leaving Chow's house, Cyclone returned to the walled city and met with Chan. He asked, "Still haven't saved enough money? When are you leaving?" But by now, Chan had become fully loyal. He said, "Boss, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here with you. I don't care about money or that ID card anymore." Hearing this, Cyclone looked disheartened. Meanwhile, at Mr. Chow's residence, he received a phone call from an unknown man. Whatever was said, it left him deeply troubled. Later, we see Master, Sin, Avi, and Chan getting ready to attend a gathering. Mr. Chow had invited them all. Chan was surprised. "Mr. Chow? But he doesn't even know me. Why would he invite me?" Master laughed and said, "Mr. Chow is a rich man. He owns over half the homes and land in this city, and his closest friend, our boss, Cyclone. So, because we work for Cyclone, we're invited too." On the way, Chan asked, "Why are the walls of this city so damaged? What really happened here?" Master replied, "That's a story from 30 years ago. Back then, this walled city was like a gold mine. Every gang in Hong Kong fought to control it. That's when our boss, Cyclone, went to war against Louis Chang's gang. Louis had hired a brutal killer named Jim, and for 7 days and 7 nights straight, Cyclone and Jim battled each other. Jim, to get to Cyclone, kidnapped Mr. Chow and killed his wife and child. He even blinded one of our boss's closest men, Tiger. Tiger was like a brother to Cyclone. And this guy, Master, he used to work directly under Tiger. In the end, despite everything, Cyclone killed Jim with one devastating punch. That war left its mark, literally. The scars on this city's walls, they're from that battle. After wrapping up the story, they all headed to Mr. Chow's gathering. Meanwhile, Tiger Boss also arrived to meet with Chow. Cyclone, Tiger, and Mr. Chow together decided to help improve and develop the walled city. By then, Chan and his friends had also reached the party. Chan got to meet everyone, and Mr. Chow warmly welcomed them all. "Eat whatever you like tonight," he said. "It's all on me." While everyone was enjoying themselves, Cyclone started remembering bits of his past. We learned something unexpected. Cyclone and the infamous killer, Jim, were once best friends. In fact, Jim used to visit Cyclone occasionally, just for a shave or haircut. But everything changed when Jim was hired by Cyclone's rival, Louis' gang. At that time, Jim's wife was pregnant. Despite their deep friendship, Cyclone and Jim ended up in a brutal battle. At one point, Cyclone said, "Get out of my way, I'm gonna end Louis." But Jim replied, "Louis is my boss. If you want to kill him, you'll have to kill me first." Both of them realized only one would survive this fight. And because they were such close friends, Jim said, "If I die, promise me you'll take care of my wife and child." Cyclone responded, "If I die, you learn how to cut hair and take over my salon." Then, they both tied blindfolds and fought one last, deadly duel. As we already know, Jim didn't make it. To keep his promise, Cyclone sent Jim's wife and child to mainland China for their safety. Now, we return to the present. Tiger Boss was drunk, and as Master helped him into the car, Tiger mumbled, "Master, we need to find a boy named Chan Lok. He's just a refugee in this city, but he's actually Jim's son." Master was shocked. He immediately informed Sin. Sin couldn't believe it, and nervously told Cyclone, "Boss, I think Master's a bit too drunk today. He's just rambling." We then jumped to 2 days earlier, a horse race where Mr. Big had placed a huge bet. During the event, a real estate manager approached Mr. Big. "I want you to help me take control of the walled city," he said. Mr. Big asked, "And what do I get out of this?" "The government won't even pay $100 per square foot." The man replied, "You may not get 100 per foot, but if you can sell the entire city to the government, you'll walk away with 1 billion, and I'll get a mega construction deal for new buildings." King chimed in, "But how do we even get in? That's Cyclone's territory." Mr. Big smirked. "I have a plan." The very next morning, he met with Mr. Chow. "Let's put the past behind us," Mr. Big said. "Let's do business together. You own most of the land in the walled city. We can both get rich." But Mr. Chow responded, "There's no point saying all this to me. You know that area belongs to Cyclone, and I consider him like my own brother. If you want to do anything, talk to him." Mr. Big leaned in and said, "You call Cyclone your brother? Then let me tell you something. That so-called brother of yours is hiding the biggest secret. Do you know who killed your wife and child? It was Killer Jim. And guess what? Jim's son is now working for Cyclone. His name's Chan. When he came to me for an ID card, I found out who his parents were. And Cyclone knew this all along, but he never told you anything." Mr. Chow was furious. That's how he learned the truth about Chan's identity and Cyclone's betrayal. So he decided he needed to see that betrayal with his own eyes. That's why he invited Cyclone and his men to dinner that day. The next morning, Sin, Master, and Avi rushed to Chan and told him, "You need to leave, immediately." They told Chan, "Everyone knows now, you're Killer Jim's son. Tiger Boss and Mr. Chow are on their way to kill you. But Cyclone Boss is giving you one last chance. Run, now." But despite everything, Chan went to Cyclone and said, "Boss, are you going to abandon me too?" Cyclone looked at him and said, "I was the one who killed your father." Chan replied, "I never even saw my father in this life. I don't care what happened to him. But you gave me food, shelter, and purpose. I'll never leave you, boss." Cyclone said softly, "There's no path left for you now." Just as they were taking Chan away, Mr. Chow and Tiger Boss arrived. The moment Master saw Tiger, he froze in fear. Mr. Chow stared at Cyclone and said, "How could you betray me like this?" Without wasting a second, Tiger and Chow's men launched a deadly attack on Chan. 15 men attacked him at once, but Chan fought back, furiously, taking down attacker after attacker. Then Tiger himself stepped in. Chan got beaten badly at first, but eventually, he injured Tiger Boss too. But that's when Mr. Chow stepped into the fight. He was a kung fu master himself. Chan couldn't keep up. He was getting beaten, broken, while Cyclone and his crew stood silently, heads down. Just when Mr. Chow was about to finish Chan off, Chan snapped. He fought back with everything he had. He disarmed Chow, picked up a knife, and shouted, "Take one more step and I'll kill you." But Mr. Chow growled, "Your father murdered my entire family. Tonight, I will take my revenge." Chan lunged to stab him, but Cyclone jumped in, shoved Chan back and yelled, "Leave! Now and never return to Hong Kong." Hearing this, Chow lost it. He went after Chan himself, but Cyclone stopped him. So Chow turned on Cyclone, trying to stab him. But Chan ran in and took the stab for Cyclone. The knife pierced Chan's stomach. Sin and Double Blade rushed in and forced Mr. Chow back. Cyclone held them back and told Chow, "Whatever happened, it wasn't Chan's fault. Let him go." But Chow snapped, "I'll kill him, no matter what." He stormed out of the walled city. Without wasting a moment, Chow went straight to meet Mr. Big. But Mr. Big was asleep. King told him, "You can't see the boss right now. Whatever you've got to say, tell me." Then King casually sat on Mr. Big's chair. Just then, Mr. Big walked in. King jumped to his feet nervously, but Mr. Big insulted him. King said nothing, but silently vowed to himself, "One day, that chair will be mine. Back to business." Mr. Chow told Mr. Big, I want Chan dead. However you do it, I don't care. You name the price, I'll pay. Mr. Big agreed. Meanwhile, Avi was treating Chan's wound. He needed to be taken to the hospital immediately. Cyclone ordered Sin to handle it. But just then, outside the city, Mr. Big and his army showed up. They were there to kill Chan. Cyclone got the news. He left Sin and Avi to protect Chan and set out himself to face Mr. Big. Avi told Sin, "Go, stay by your boss's side. I'll stay here and look after Chan myself." Meanwhile, King and his men were interrogating everyone in the city, asking about Chan, but no one said a word. Word of Mr. Big's intrusion into the city also reached Master. Though he served under Tiger Boss, Master told him, "Boss, please forgive me, but I can't let Cyclone Boss face this alone. When I lost my parents at 13, it was Cyclone who raised me and handed me over to you. I owe him everything. I have to go." Tiger Boss gave him permission. At the same time, Sin joined Cyclone's side. Cyclone told him to leave, but Sin refused. He wouldn't abandon his boss. Then, with his loyal men, Cyclone stepped in front of King and said, "What are you doing here? Do you even know who you're messing with?" King shouted, "From now on, this place belongs to us. We'll do whatever we want. Your brother, Mr. Chow, gave it to us. If you don't believe me, go talk to my boss, Mr. Big. He's sitting in your own barber shop." Without wasting a second, Cyclone marched over to confront Mr. Big. Mr. Big showed him the property documents and said, "Your brother gave me full rights to this place. If you hand over Chan, you and your men can stay in this city. If not, we'll bury you here." Meanwhile, Avi tried to escape with Chan, but Mr. Big's men were already after them. King joined the chase, but Cyclone intercepted him and attacked, starting an all-out fight with Mr. Big. Mr. Big managed to wound Cyclone badly. At the same time, Sin showed up to help Avi, taking down Mr. Big's men one by one. Then King appeared before Sin, but his body was like steel. Even knives couldn't pierce his skin. Taking advantage, King slashed off 4 of Sin's fingers and went after Avi. Avi, carrying Chan in his arms, ran for safety, but was cornered by Mr. Big himself. Outmatched, Avi was losing fast. Just then, Cyclone appeared, bloodied, bruised, but determined to protect them. While he fought Mr. Big, Avi tried to escape with Chan, but once again faced King. No matter how hard they tried, nothing could hurt King. He was like solid rock. King injured Avi as well, but Sin, wounded and in pain, rushed to help her. Master also joined the fight, stabbing King with a knife, but it had no effect. They realized King had some kind of superhuman power. Meanwhile, Cyclone continued his brutal fight with Mr. Big, but his body was failing. Blood poured from his mouth and nose due to his lung tumor. Seeing this, Double Blade rushed in and began attacking Mr. Big, but Mr. Big struck him down, killing him with his own blades. Cyclone, in a final act of rage and power, smashed Mr. Big with a deadly blow, leaving him unconscious. Seeing his boss fall, King charged at Cyclone, but Cyclone, ignoring his injuries, trapped King inside a shop. King began stabbing him through the back wall, blade after blade. Outside, Sin screamed, "I swear I'll kill you, King!" But Cyclone, barely breathing, whispered, "Take Chan and get out of here. Make sure nothing happens to him." Left with no choice, Sin and the others took Chan and fled the city, leaving Cyclone behind. They brought Chan to a hospital and handed him over to the police for safety. In the next scene, Mr. Big and King arrive at Mr. Chow's home. Chow asked, "What are you doing here? Killing Cyclone isn't enough. Until Chan is dead, you have no place in this city." King laughed and said, "Old man, we're here to buy your land. We'll pay 20 per square yard." King had already killed the 4 other landowners and bought their plots dirt cheap. When Mr. Chow refused, King beat him with a hammer and locked him in a dog cage. He turned to Mr. Big and said with a grin, "Boss, this whole city is ours now. We'll expand it even more, and in 2 years, we'll sell it to the government for 3,000 per square yard. No one can stop us." Then King went out to roam the city. We learned that Mr. Big had suffered internal injuries from Cyclone's final blow. That night, as Mr. Big lay bleeding in pain, King entered his room. Without warning, he attacked him, choked him to death, and whispered, "Your time's up, old man. The walled city is mine now." Meanwhile, we see Chan recovering in the hospital. He gave the police all information about his real parents. That's when they realized Chan wasn't a refugee. He was born in Hong Kong. His parents were citizens. So the police issued him a legal ID card. Once he recovered, Chan tried contacting Sin, Master, and Avi, but all their numbers were disconnected. So Chan went straight to Tiger Boss. He asked for the whereabouts of Master and the others. Tiger was already furious with Chan. After all, it was because of him that Cyclone Boss had died. He told Chan that Master, Sin, and Avi were severely injured in the battle with King, and now lived far away from all the chaos. With the address in hand, Chan made his way to a small floating house by the river where the three of them now lived. They were still recovering from King's brutal attack, their bodies broken. Master's leg was shattered, Avi had deep abdominal wounds, and Sin was missing fingers. Chan said, "We have to do something," but Master sighed. "How? I can't even walk." Avi is barely healing, and Sin can't even hold a weapon. Trying to lighten the mood, they spent the night playing a board game, laughing together for the first time in what felt like forever. But while they all slept, Chan used the cubes from the board game to build a model of the walled city. The next morning, he left, alone. He had made up his mind. He would return to the city and avenge Cyclone Boss. That very day, a massive ceremony was being held in the walled city. It was to announce that King was now the ruler. People watched silently, disgusted by King's arrogance. Some whispered under their breath, "One day, this dog will die like a dog." Unnoticed, Chan snuck back into the city. Little Ishu saw him and gasped. Chan told her, "Run inside. Tell everyone you see to hide. This isn't going to be safe." She did as he said. Using the smoke from a nearby fire as cover, Chan launched a stealth assault on King's men, taking down 5 or 6 in an alley, all by himself. Then boldly he marched straight into the ceremony. King froze when he saw him. Chan began killing his men one by one, right in front of his eyes. The action was brutal, unforgettable. Chan was about to take down King, but suddenly he was ambushed from behind. Gunmen opened fire. Chan barely escaped. And just then, Sin arrived on a motorbike, taking out shooters left and right. Master and Avi joined him too. "We know you tried to leave us behind," they said, "but we'll never leave you. We're with you till the end." Together, they charged at King's army. While they handled his men, none of them could hold off King. He was like a one-man army, guns blazing, bullets flying everywhere. The friends got separated. Avi fought alone. Chan kept dodging King's relentless fire. Sin and Master were surrounded. But they fought like warriors, taking down 15 to 20 men on their own. Eventually, Chan was captured by King. He beat Chan mercilessly. Chan tried to counter, but it was useless. King was like a mountain, unmovable, invincible. Avi rushed in to help, but King injured her too. Then Sin and Master came up with a plan. They tied King up with a heavy rope. All 4 friends beat him together, trying to stop him from activating his powers. But King was too strong. Even tied down, he severely injured them. At the final moment, Chan wrapped his arms around King and leapt off the roof. Sin wouldn't let him fall alone. He grabbed a rope, and both Chan and King ended up hanging from it. "Let me go," Chan shouted. "I'll finish him." But Sin yelled back, "If we win together. If we lose together." King, laughing, began stabbing Chan mid-air. Chan tried to stab him back, but King bit the knife in half. Then Chan grabbed him by the neck and forced the broken blade into his mouth, making King swallow it. But King struck again, throwing Chan down and stabbing him once more. He climbed back up to finish the others. Sin, Master, and Avi were nearly unconscious. Then, like a true cyclone, Cyclone Boss returned. A gust of wind tore through the sky as Chan somehow pulled himself back to the rooftop. That's when they realized King's body was impenetrable from the outside. But inside, that broken knife Chan made him swallow was slowly tearing him apart from within. Seizing the moment, the 4 friends attacked him again, harder, faster. King began to bleed from within. The damage was internal, lethal. Chan handed the final piece of the broken knife to Sin. Sin, who had sworn to avenge Cyclone Boss, drove the blade straight through King's chest. It was over. Chan then went to free Mr. Chow, still locked inside the dog cage. As Chow looked up, he swore he could see Cyclone Boss standing behind Chan, just for a second. Finally, the 4 friends stood at a corner of the walled city. For the first time, there was peace. They were finally together, united. Only one thing was missing: Cyclone Boss. And with that, this epic, unforgettable story comes to an end. If you love this story, Please don't forget to like, comment, and share.